what I really wanted to do today, to talk today about, is mediumship. And we'll get into question and answers later, but I want to talk a little bit how a few more ideas and different things to do mediumship, to connect to a higher sense of consciousness. And really what I've told people to do certain things, but also we need to find a time, a vibration within your life, a time to just sit back and just let your mind wander. I mean, you could take like 15 minutes. 15 minutes works really well. And just sit and let your mind wander. Just get quiet. Let your mind see. You have to see what your mind's doing, what your subconscious, your mind is doing. Where is it directing you? Where is it trying to take you? To really get into mediumship is trying to figure out where your mind's taking you, where it is propelling itself. And then you give it about a week. Give it about a week's time and just kind of watch and see where your mind is taking you. Where is it taking? You have to go do the clothes. You have to go wash dishes. Are you thinking about this? Does your mind wander over here? Kind of get a vision of where your mind's going, where it's focusing its thoughts. As Louis Hay said one time, just acknowledge the thoughts, let them be. But just kind of see where they're going, see where they're connecting. And then after about a week, then you go back, you go into the quiet, and you try to quiet your mind. Because you already know where your mind is kind of looking, where it's going. Now what you need to do is quiet those thoughts, those vibrational thoughts. You take them one at a time when they appear and dissipate them. Dissipate. And by dissipating is breathing into the situation, allowing the energy just to dissipate. And start working on that for a week. And allowing this whole vibration to change, to redo, reset, re-envision. Then when you get past your second week, then what you're doing then is now you're going to focus your meditation. You're going to focus it because now you've seen where your mind's going. You control where your mind's going now. And now you start focusing on where you would like it to be. What are you really looking for? Whether you're looking for guides, Akashic records, past lives, incarnate, what are you really looking for? And as I tell people when they start this work, is figure out what you're really looking for. If you just get on the bus and you have no idea where the bus is going, and you don't even know you don't even know what's on the ticket, but you get on the bus and you go. You have no idea where you're ending up. You don't know what you're actually supposed to be looking for. So get kind of a control situation. I always tell people, get a control situation of where you plan on being. What do you want with the mediumship? Kind of get a note. And I always tell people it's nice. You can mentally ask your guides. You can talk to them. You can mentally ask them. You can put all this stuff in motion. But if you write it down on a piece of paper, don't store it somewhere in your home, but write it down. Allow your guides to overshadow you, to look at it. Figure out exactly what you're looking for because your intention to what you want has been put on paper. Your guides encircle you. They're around you constantly, so they're always overshadowing you. They're always in and around your vibration. So they're going to see what you're writing. If you ask mentally for something, it has to go through all your filters. All your stuff that has happened in your life has to go through every single one of your filters. That by the time you get by the time Spirit hears it, they have no idea what you wanted. So I learned that a lot of years doing this work. I had to really focus my intent on what I would like them to do, what I would like them to see. And do some kind of affirmation in your life. Do some kind of affirmation, a mediumship affirmation. So you can start the affirmation out, I am intuitive. I am blessed. I see all things. I am loved. And just say whatever you want into an affirmation that you do for your mediumship. Just put visions. I am clairaudient. I am getting better and better and better every day at my mediumship. Do some kind of affirmations in your vibration to allow yourself to get that confidence to move within mediumship. So what you're doing is you're training yourself not to wander off. You're training yourself to be still. And then you're training yourself to set the GPS. So first of all, you get quiet. Try to quiet your mind. Then you try to quiet yourself completely so you don't wander off. And then you go set the GPS of where you'd like to go. And that kind of works. And I tell people too, you want to envision things. So whether you get a picture of a rose, a truck, and this works really well if you get yourself a hard picture. You try to focus your mind. You might see it. You might try your best to see it. Some people can. Some people can't. Just get a picture of something, whether it be a rose, whatever it is. Just get a picture of it and try to envision it. And just look at the picture. Then envision every part of that picture within your inner vision. Within your inner vision, visualize it. And once you have visualized it, then you can start picking it and starting to increase it, starting to bring it more clear. And when you do mediumship, that's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to get your guides to bring the picture in clearer so you can personally see it. And this is work. This has to be work. You can take a picture of a postcard. You can take a picture of a rose. You can take a picture of something. And then just kind of look at it. There's a book I told people to buy. They should kind of get it. They can get it off the internet. It's pretty reasonable off the internet, Amazon, different things. It's called Living Rainbows. If you come out to Castaneda, they have it at the bookstore here. You can get it on the internet. And in that book, they have cards. Different colored cards. There are little blue pyramids, there are round circles, there are different cards within that book. And once you hold those cards up, you look at them, you stare at them, you look at them, you look at them. Give it about a couple of minutes, you're looking at them. Then you take the card away. Within that vision, you start seeing that symbol moving all around the room. You see it moving around the room. You see it. It starts to move. From outside of in your vision, you start to see that symbol moving without looking at the symbol. It starts to become inbred within you. So those cards work really well. So you figure out what works for you, what fits the vibration for you, what connects to you, because you have to figure out exactly how you're personally working with your own mediumship. I can tell you to do this, do this, do this, do this. But the question is how does it work for you? Not how it works for me or somebody down the street. How does it work for you? If you're going to be able to sit for a longer period of time, then sit. If it's a shorter period of time, do that. If you don't want to do one thing and you like another thing, then do that. Do where your guides are trying to lead you. That's the question with your mediumship. That is the whole vibration. Your guides will try to propel you, propel books, propel situations within your vibration, and then allow them to orchestrate the teaching. Because people will arrive. People will show up in your life, and they will arrive in your vibration. They will arrive, and they will place themselves in your vibration, and you'll have to say, oh, that's why that person's here. That's why that book appeared. That's why that happened. So we watch what's appearing in the vibration. Because once you have your mind trained, at least trained a little bit, you start focusing your intent on the journey. That's what you're doing. You're focusing your intent on your journey of where you want to be. And what I've said here before in classes with mediumship, the classes I do on mediumships, don't just go skipping down the path. Don't go skipping. This is not kumbaya. Don't go skipping. Just kind of, when you start the path, Figure out what you're doing. Figure out what's going on in the vibration. Figure out what's happening. For you, do you see a solid street? Do you see a paved road? What do you see when you first enter? And that's another key with mediumship, is what do you see? What do you envision within your mind's eye? What do you kind of envision here? And try to make sense of it. Try to figure out, especially if it keeps appearing, especially if it keeps showing itself to you. Not because you're saying, oh my God, Lou, that's what, no. What does it mean to you? What does it connect to you? It's that getting quiet. It's that vibration of understanding how your guides are working with you. My guide, Jeff, could probably come over and do stuff for you, but you might not listen to my guide, Jeff, because Jeff doesn't quite radiate with your vibration, but he radiates with mine. So your guides will have been sent directly to radiate with your vibration, radiate with you. So you have to kind of do that whole connection. And getting hold of your master teachers, your guides that are on the other side, your master teachers, your connection to your helpers, because all within your inner aura is your chemist, your alchemist, is your doorkeeper, is your teachers, your physician, your message bearer, your protector, your protection, your runners. All of them are within that inner auric field around you, that inner auric field. The runners are the ones that go run and get you things, while the other guides stay put. They run. So you have runners within you have healing runners that run with your healing guides to go out and bring you things for your health. You have other runners within your vibration to go out and help you. The message bearer, when you're getting messages or giving messages, you're going to do this kind of work, your message bearer will be within your inner circle, plus the doorkeeper who actually allows everyone in, but you also have all these guides that are there. Then on the outside are all your helpers, your master teachers, your connection to your higher self. So you have this whole triage of situations going on around you with higher self, your guides, your protectors, and they're all connecting to you and they're encircling you at every moment of every day. Not every guide's going to be there every day, but you're going to be there. But you're training them. See, you are the trainer. It's like you might have a lot of lions in the cage, but you got to go in and train them, get them to do the things you would like them to do. You have to train them. You have to propel them in motion. And that's the good thing about mediumship, is because you are in control. I've had too many people tell me that, Louis, I'm not in control of myself. My guides made me say that. My guides did that. No, they didn't. You said it because it's something you wanted to say, not because your guides made you say it. Your guides don't make you, they insinuate. But when you're doing readings, you're not going to tell people very dark stuff. It is not the vibration to tell them dark stuff. Because I had somebody, oh, I just see you being struck by lightning, dear. I feel like the lightning's coming down, going to strike you dead. Well, what kind of reading would that be for somebody if you told them in a reading that lightning was going to strike them dead? What? Maybe the lightning, maybe the stuff that you were seeing was more of a finish of something, a connection to something else. And how you say it, how you say this stuff is exactly, you don't have to kind of, you can tell people things within a reading, but you learn how to kind of take them on a little journey, kind of explain the whole vibration, the whole situation, without disrupting their whole life. But they still get the message, but through a whole comforting situation for them. If you tell somebody plain out that something's happening, and you go, well, Louis, I know it's happening. I know this is going to happen. We still have free will and choice. We still have free will and choice on the journey. Doesn't mean what you see, what you have envisioned here, is exactly what's going to happen. Because the person you're dealing with has free will and choice to either move down that path or maybe go on an excursion off path for a while to bypass this and re-enter the path somewhere else. It isn't a question they have to do, say, oh my God, they're going to do this and this. It doesn't really happen as much as people think it does. Sometimes, once in a while, it is something you see and you just know it's going to happen. It's just going to happen. But those are rare situations where you know exactly that this person is moving in this direction, but you can coax them and kind of give them other options. And that's what mediumship, it's giving options. It's giving options to the individual. When you're learning, when you're teaching yourself to watch where your thoughts are going, teaching yourself to quiet the vibration, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to express yourself, allowing yourself to see in what direction your thoughts are traveling, and be able to kind of get a game plan of where all these thoughts are going. Then when you quiet yourself, you already know that if your thought starts to still move in that direction, you've already seen that. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't connect to you. It doesn't vibrate. So you can quiet that part of the vibration, quiet that noise, or shut that door. And then when another door opens, you can decide if you would like to keep that door open or shut that door. And you do that. You keep shutting these doors, only keeping open exactly what you feel would be extremely positive, extremely good for you. Then, when you start to focus your intent on mediumship, you're allowing yourself to look at the doors that you personally would like to look at. That's why you set the ticket. That's why you set the GPS. You look at these doors and where you feel like you personally need to set the ticket, or where you feel like you need to be. That is a whole strong connection here of how you perceive spirit, how you connect to them. Some of you here today might just not be able to see guides. Maybe you don't see them. Maybe you just sense them. You sense somebody near you. You don't actually see them. But you know what their energy feels like. You know what it feels like when they're up next to you, when they're overshadowing you. So you connect to that feeling, that vibration that they bring with them. So you know who it is. When I teach mediumship in my classes, I know that when you give a reading and you're sitting in front of somebody, you give a reading, say, I have your mother here, and you describe mom. And that mother appears on the mother's side of the family. And you go, oh, mother. But if you gave the same mother and then it appeared on the father's side of the family, and the person said, well, that's my mother-in-law, that's my mother-in-law, or it's my husband's mother that you're bringing through right now. Then you kind of know that energy that you feel with that energy is going to be in that direction. If you give another reading and that same energy, that same vibration appears in the auric field, and you get a mother feeling, a motherly vibration, but you get that feeling that, oh, this has to be on your husband's part of the family, or your wife's part of the family, because this woman is more of a mother-in-law. I keep getting with mother-in-law with this. So you keep direct it. You direct the vibration by sensing the energy and figuring out what it is. That's why it's good having classes when there are somebody in front of you, so that you can bounce what you get off of them, so that they can say yes or no. Kind of give you back a little bit of feedback. If you did readings with English over the English, you're talking to people, and you're not really gathering information. What you're doing as an English medium is you're getting people to acknowledge. I've got someone here, and you address who you have, and you ask somebody, do you understand what I'm bringing forth to you? Do you understand the logic here? And then allow them to say yes or no. That way it kind of focuses you whether you're on or you're a little off, and you still have to ask for more information. And you have to teach yourself, doing mediumship, how to ask for new information, how to ask for it, how to ask your guides, because as they give you information, they're still trying to download more. So you have to be open and pour your brain to allow them to download the extra information that's there. So when you're doing the mediumship, is teach yourself to listen. That's a real key. There'll be people all around me during a reading talking. I'll be talking to the clients, but there's all kinds of noise going on around me. And I have to discern the spirit. I have to discern what's going on around me while I'm still talking, while I'm still trying to speak and still trying to give a reading. I'm still discerning the spirits that are talking to me so that I can get the information, weigh the information, and then give it to the individual. Because spirit sometimes is not as nice as they should be. They have a little bit of a language situation going on with some of them. Some of them don't talk as probably as nice as they should. So you really can't give that kind of information to the client and go, oh, huh. No, you kind of tell a story. When I said a couple of weeks ago, I did a class on mediumship, search, communication, evidence, reason, tell a story. You have to learn to tell the story. Tell the vibration. Tell the story of what they're trying to propel towards you. Because if you don't, you have to tell the story. You can't give bits and pieces and keep clicking it and little bits and pieces of the vibration or bits and pieces of the reading. See, if I explain to people, I try to get, I've done this for a while, but the question is when you're looking at somebody and you get like a wagon wheel, you get a horse, you get a tree, and you get a car. Now, I've got these symbols that have appeared in front of me. Now, I could tell you, I got a wagon wheel here, and there's a horse somewhere off in the field. I saw an old oak tree, and I've got a blue car. God bless you. Now, out of that, I should have had some kind of understanding of what that means to me. If you look at wheel is kind of round. It's a continuation. It's a movement. It's a change of situations within a person's life. So now I've got this wheel. So I've got to try to figure out what that wheel means to me. Then you kind of decide what the wheel is. It's a metal wheel, wood wheel. What's the wheel look like? A wood wheel will rot. It'll go back. So probably the situation in a person's life is going to clear itself within about 6 to 7 months. So you look at, see what the wheel is made of and what it's made of. When you're looking at the horse, what color is the horse? If you have a large white horse, the white horse could mean spirituality, connection to a higher sense of consciousness. It could mean this blessing from the spirit world. Black horse signifies there's a little bit of debris, a little bit of stuff coming into the person's life that they have to be watchful over. Brown horse could mean that the person's getting very grounded, very focused in their life, and need to allow themselves to see in new beginnings. The blue car signifies healing, balance. The car's got wheels on it. Which way is the car pointed? Is it pointed away from the individual? It means the healing's going to get better. It means that there are new blessings, new situations appearing in a person's life. If the car is backed up to the individual, it means that the person isn't really looking at their health and they're not really looking at the situation. So what does it mean to you? See, you can tell people what you see, but what you see is more of a connection of what it means to you. That's what it is. So it's how it perceives itself. If you saw a balloon, but the balloon was in different colors, but mostly in a certain color within the auric field, but a certain color in one of the chakras. What if you see a balloon and most of the balloon is orange? Very good possibility it has to deal with something in the midsection, something in that vibration, that it could be bothering the individual or something in that connection, because that is what color the balloon is. So you have to kind of weigh and ask your guide, say, okay, you gave me this. Why? Why? Why am I getting this balloon? Why am I getting this color? Why? Why are you trying to propose this in my vibration? Because a lot of the times, all we're going to get when we do the mediumship is we're going to see all this stuff appear in our lives. We're going to see all these symbols, all these little pictures of situations going on in our vibration. And and usually it lasts maybe 5, 6 symbols, and the screen will go dark. And out of those 6 symbols, those 5 things that appeared in our vibration, we've got to try to make out a reading. We've got to try to kind of envision what they're trying to tell us, what they're trying to propel in motion. So that's why you have to quiet your mind. There's no question that you're just quieting it just to kind of train yourself. You're quieting it so that the things that appear in your vibration have something to do with the reading or the consultation that you're having with your guides or your spiritual teachers. If you keep having something keep appearing, it could be something from the past, something from your upbringing, something from somewhere else. It doesn't mean that it's something that your guides want you to see. It's a memory. It's a feeling that you've had in your life for some time. That's why you take the week at the beginning of kind of training and doing this, is figure out where your brain's going. Where does it venture off to? What you do is you take your brain off the leash. Let it go. See where it takes you. Where is the brain going to run to? And then you figure out if it keeps running there. Every day it keeps running to those certain situations. You watch what keeps showing up. As I say with mediumship, it's body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. 3 or more times. So if your guides keep trying to show it to you, there's a thing you need to look at it for. Then you quietly ask yourself, do I need this? Is this something that is good for me? And if your first impression, you go, I don't need that. I don't really need to look at that. Then clear that from the vibration. Clear that from your consciousness. Tell your guides. Your guides don't have control over this. Your guides just orchestrate things, propel things, and bring things. But they do not have control of your vibration. So what they do is they just propel things towards you. And then you get to either look at them or collect them. A lot of people I know in this lifetime are collectors. They like collecting stuff. I had somebody tell me the other day, oh, listen, I get near people, I'm a sponge. I collect all this energy from everyone. So I got to be very cautious of who I come in contact with because I'm a sponge. Nonsense. You're only a sponge because you want to be a sponge. You tell your guides, that could happen a couple times. You could be a sponge. You could pull this energy and the vibration. But then you go, wait. We're not doing this. And explain to your guides what you're doing, what you're propelling in motion. I want you to be the best mediums, the best connection to mediumship that you can personally be. There's no sense of you sitting back and going, oh God, I've got this. This is just awful. Every time I see spirit, I get this. Then if you get that and it's not comfortable for you, it's not fits the vibration for you, then tell them. That's why the protectors within your vibration. That's why the joy guide. That's why the guides and different things in your vibration. They aren't there just to sit there and have coffee and hope to God you don't fall off the cliff. They're there to guide you. They're there to put things in your vibration to propel you in a path, but not to take over the path. Just propel you towards a path and allow you to have the free will and choice of what direction you would like to go in this. And then allow yourself to pick the direction that works for you. Not because I, as a medium, tell you, oh my God, you're going to be a good trance medium. My God, perfect trance medium. And you give up everything in your life. You guys have not shown you any kind of trance mediumship. You haven't really connected to trance mediumship, but you're going to put your whole life on hold to go into trance mediumship and take on trance mediumship because somebody told you to do that. No. What you do is when you get a feeling, you quietly ask your guides, am I supposed to do this? Could you please show me? I always tell people that. Yeah, ask your guides to show you. Allow them to show you. Then see who appears in your life. Does somebody appear with a couple of tapes on transmediumship? Does somebody try to give you, do you just happen to be at a garage sale and you pick up a book about transmediumship? What did appear in your vibration once you asked? What does your guides propel you towards? Because you could listen to if I listened to everybody in my life to tell me what I should do, I'd be a past life regressor, I'd be doing this, I'd be doing that, oh my God. I'd be scattered halfway across the United States by everything people told me I needed to do. But I allowed my guides to propel me of what they needed me to do, what they were propelling me towards, and for me to put my energy in that direction. And that's what I did. And I want, when you do this work, is to propel yourself in that direction. But allow yourself to get quiet. Quiet in a place. It takes work. I'm not saying that it's going to be something you're going to do overnight. It's not something you're going to do just today and then, oh my God, I've got it down pat. No. It takes a while to train yourself. That's what it does. It takes you a while to train the vibration to get you to where you personally need to be. It isn't something that's going to happen today or tomorrow. It might take you a year. When my mother used to hold seances, it would take 14 to 18 months just to get the trumpet to move off the table during a trumpet seance. It wasn't something that happened a day that you walked in, oh my God, the trumpet's moving. No. This took months of that trumpet sitting there and doing nothing while people set their energy in motion. So it had to work with the vessel. If there are 15 or 12 or 15 people in the seance, it has to connect to every person in that seance and make a connection, a chain, as you would call it, to allow the energy to flow in a conducive situation to make the trumpet move. Same thing with mediumship. You happen to be the chain. You have to allow that energy, that vibration, to work with you, to keep propelling the energy towards you, to keep working with you, to get you that you're able to do the work. And it just takes that time. It just takes time. It took me years to focus my mind, to focus and get quiet and just not look at the craziness going on around me, but focus my intent on the direction in front of me. And you can teach yourself. I taught myself that I don't see the people in front of me. I don't see them. And if I'm doing public work, if I call on you and I say, I want to come to you, you are the only one lit up in the room. And everybody else has gone dark. You're it. You're the only one I see in the room that lit up. Everybody else has gone dark. And that's how Spirit works with me. Now, Spirit could work some other direction with you and get you to see different things. But that's how I see it. When you walk in my office, I don't see you. I start the reading, you just disappear. I have no connection of understanding where your energy is. I just watch what's going on around you. I don't watch you. And you teach yourself, what do you want? You want to see past the individual. You want to see into the auric field. You want to see into their Akashic records. You want to see into the vibration. So you're setting these little trails for yourself to connect to someone. And really, when somebody sits in front of you, you're looking for what door to open, because there's always a door left ajar. There's something left ajar on the individual. And once you start tapping at that door or moving towards that vibration, the information starts to flow. There's always something left open around people, always. And that's what you're really looking for. Now, I can do spiritual mediumship, psychic mediumship, all kinds of, but the question is, what works for the vibration for you? What you do is you take cards, lay them out on the table. Take different types of decks. I don't care what kind of decks you take. But lay the cards on the table. Now, deal the cards, shuffle the cards, and lay 4 cards on the table. Now, let's think of those as 4 symbols the Spirit has given you. What would you personally say with those symbols? And make a reading out of it. Just don't say, well, you know, I got a horse here, I got a unicorn, and I got a fairy in this one, and what does it mean to you? And I have the hardest time in classes trying to teach people, don't mention the symbol. If I tell you that there's a bridge and there's a boat, during the first part of the reading, I don't want to hear bridge or boat. Because the bridge and the boat are a meaning to you. It has not a meaning to the individual. It's a meaning to you. There's a meaning why the bridge and the boat. So what does the bridge mean to you? I hate when people say, you know, I have a bridge for you. And it's a symbol for me, and it's a bridge, and there's a bridge going, what? Because really, when you start the readings, or you start this connection to Spirit, if you start off in some kind of haphazard way, people will just ignore you. They'll just go, exhausted with this already. It takes you about 3 minutes to explain the bridge that you saw. People get exhausted and they just turn you off. They just turn off the channel. It's getting their attention, getting their vibration, their attention. A bridge is a connection to the other side. A bridge is a connection. It is a place of wonderment. It's a place of walking. It's a place to connect. See, when you think of it in a whole different way, a whole different vibration, if you saw water, it's the movement of the water, the connection to the movement. How clear is the water? Is it clear seeing? Is it clear vibration? Are there animals in the water? Is it what's going on as you see the water? There are other symbols, and people get too involved in one symbol. They'll see water and go, oh my God, water. But what was really going on in the water? What was really happening when you were seeing the water? That's what you have to realize. When Lucerne works with me, he gives me the symbols and the vibrations, and he tries to connect me. But he allows me to see the picture. It's like drawing by numbers, painting by numbers. When you have those, he keeps putting paint on the picture, so it brings the picture clearer and clearer. If I only look at one color of the picture and then look away, I haven't received a full view of the picture. So that's why you take your time. You take your time to look. What's going on? What are they trying to show you with the picture? Don't look away too quickly, because you'll miss most of the message. Same thing with meditation. If you're going down the path, don't keep your eye up on the hill, because what's happening in the valley on your journey to the hill is major information for you. It's this major connection to a higher sense of consciousness. So when you're sitting still, be still. Watch. And study. Because I spent months just looking at one thing, because they would bring me water, and I would go, water. And they wouldn't change the water, and I'm going, okay, water. You want me to look at the water? Then I started focusing my attention to water. Then I would see goldfish in the water, and I would see little white caps. But I would see dragonflies, and different colored dragonflies flying over the water. I started to train myself to see what was going on within the water. And that's really what my guide Jeff wanted me to see. He wanted me to see what was going on in the water, just not the water. When you go on a meditation and you go to the mountain and you drink a glass of juice or a glass of water, what color is the goblet? What color is the water that you drank out of that goblet? What water is in the fountains? What's going on in the place where you have arrived? That's really what you're looking for. You're looking for what's happening with that vibration, because your guides are going to allow you to leave the vibration in your own way. So when you start your meditation, set some kind of, when you get your mind quiet enough to set the meditation, ask for a guide. Ask for what you feel you would really love to see. Then allow yourself to close your eyes and breathe. And when I teach the breathing, I've said this before, breathe as if you're breathing through your third eye. Breathe as if there's air coming through your third eye, into your body, into your lungs, and out your mouth. Breathe as if you're breathing through your third eye. Trying to open up the pineal and the hypothalamus. You're trying to open that up. You're trying to get it to secrete within your vibration. Get it to open. So you're breathing through your third eye. And then just sit there for a moment and just breathe. What happens within the first minute and a half of you getting quiet? What's going on? What is trying to be shown to you? Do you get colors? Maybe you see something, you feel something, you sense something. What do you feel? What do you sense? And then allow yourself to build on that vibration that you sense. If you're like some people, you'll be clairvoyant, you'll be able just to see things in your mind's eye. You'll be able to see stuff going on. What do you see? What do you feel? Then set your vibration, but set it, because don't allow your guides to lead your whole life. They're not there to do that. You can't allow them to just go, this is it, this is it. Adjust it. If they poke you in the eye every time you go into meditation and you don't like it, don't keep letting them poke you in the eye. Tell them to stop it. Tell them to come through a different way. Don't allow them to come through the same way every single time, because if you don't like it, they'll say, oh my God, they must like it. They didn't tell us no. Because they don't understand that it's bothering you. It's something that doesn't really fit you. So tell them, explain to them how you would like them to come through. If how they're coming through doesn't work for you, or it makes you uncomfortable. Just don't do it just because, oh my God, Spirit did it, and I've got to do what Spirit told me to do. I've got to do what Spirit's doing. No, you don't. You need to address it for yourself, so it makes it a comfortable journey. You're setting the rules, the guidebook, the rule book. But the rule book is not Spirit's rule book. The rule book is yours. Your rule book for Spirit. Your rule book of how you perceive it to be. So if you allow yourself just to go, yep, I'm going to do it that way because Spirit told me so. No. You do it the way that fits the vibration for you. When I used to go into meditation, I used to keep track of every single meditation I ever went into, and I still do most of the time. I will write down, especially key points that get my attention during meditation. I will write them down, I will jot them down, just to see if they reappear, if they show up again, if they just kind of connect to me again. I say, oh my God, this has happened 3-4 times. There must be something from the spirit world that they want me to look at, to want me to connect to. So you're keeping track of what's happening, what's showing up when you do this. But I said at the beginning of this class, let your mind wander. Let it just go. Let it just go. For about a week, just let it wander off. Keep track of where it's wandering. Then, the next week, start shutting the doors on these things that your mind has wandered to. So the wonderment, the wandering off, gets less and less and less because you've closed the doors. And if you can't close one of the doors, you go, Lewis, I don't know how to close that door. I don't know how to do this. Ask your guides. Have them help you. Talk to them. Have them orchestrate. Have them help you. Then when you start to focus your intention, if you're going to be doing this about a day or two before you're planning on focusing on meditation, explain to your guides mentally what you would like to see. Where would you like to go? So that when you finally sit down in your quietness, ready to take the journey, your guides have heard the roadmap. They've kind of understood where you would like to go. They keep track of how they get you there, how they propel you in that direction. Because it is this whole connection of How are your guides working with you? That is a whole thing. I think me and Christopher Thames have a little thing with guides. He believes in higher self, doesn't believe guides are this whole major thing. I've had Jeff, different guides in my vibration throughout my life. I could feel like they could be another aspect of who I am. Maybe another aspect from a past life, maybe an aspect from my higher self, I don't know. But they look pretty connected to me as I see them standing there in front of me. So I have a strong connection to what they look like, who they are, and what they produced their name to be. So I can call on them. Maybe I'm just calling on my higher self, and that's who I'm calling on. But I at least have an idea of who I'm looking for when they appear in front of me. And I'm looking for the color. Usually one of your guides will appear in your vibration because they will show up in a color. You see beautiful lavender every time you shut your eyes. There's a very good possibility that your guide, your gatekeeper, one of your protectors, has got lavender. It's got lavender energy that appears in front of them. So they will appear in a reading, and you might see lavender around somebody and go, oh, my guide's here. Okay. I should probably speak to this guy because this guy has some kind of connection to them. See, there's always these little aspects of things that you can look at. I know it might seem a lot to do mediumship, but it isn't. It's just training yourself to do the psychic alphabet so that when you see it, when you have some kind of connection to it, you don't have to question it, you don't have to look, you don't have to follow, you don't have to go anywhere. You just know what it means. You just absolutely know what it means. Over the years I've done it, I pretty much know what every symbol means. So pretty much, and things I don't know, I'll probably ask to sitter. I'll go, I'm getting this. Does this have some kind of meaning to you? And usually the sitter will go, yeah, this is exactly I had this when I was a kid. So I kind of file that away in my alphabet. That's probably what it means. So let's do that. But you have to file these things off in your alphabet. You can't spend 20 minutes during a reading on a waterfall. You have to read the waterfall, read what it means, what's going on with it, and move on to the next part of the journey. You can't spend 20, 30 minutes just looking at a waterfall. Where is it trying to take you? What are they trying to show you? And that's the same thing that I said with, like when I said the wagon wheel, the tree, the car. What colors are they? What kind of tree was it? What's going on with the wagon? What's going on with all this stuff? What do you sense with it when you see it? What do you sense? Do you sense the car was in good repair? Was the car in bad repair? Was the wagon wheel broken? Was it broken? Was the tree that you saw in their vibration alive or dead? I do a whole thing with draw a tree, and I can get you a draw a tree. I just give you a white card, say draw a tree, and sign your name. I don't give you any other information, just draw a tree, sign your name. And out of drawing that tree, signing your name, I give you pretty much a reading about your life, about what you just drew, because I don't have to. I don't tell you where. I don't tell you where to put your name. I don't tell you how to draw the tree. I don't tell you what to do with the tree. But everybody will draw something different. They'll draw something totally different, and they'll put their name. Sometimes people will write their name across the whole bottom in great big letters. Sometimes it'll be just small signatures that they put in the tree. And they'll put the signature sometimes a knot hole right on the tree. But it's where they place the stuff, where they put the stuff. I can give them a whole reading. And when you learn how to do this, and there's a book on the internet you can get for Draw a Tree. Gives you whole kinds of understandings of when you draw a tree, what certain things mean, what trees mean, what certain things mean. But it just gives you an outline. What happens is you start to train yourself with your own intuition, your own vibration of what it means to you, how it connects to you. Because you're doing it through intuition. of what you feel about the tree, what you feel about the situation. But it really works. It has a strong connection. I have friends of mine that do that just for a living. They do draw tree workshops. That's what they do. So it's what works for you. Maybe drawing a tree workshops work for you. Maybe it's something you'll do and say, oh my God, this is perfect for me. I love doing those. Then do those. Maybe that's what you're called to do. But find out where your calling is. Find out where your calling is, where the vibration of the calling is. Because I really want you to find your true passion with this. Your true passion with your mediumship. I didn't start off with every gift in the world. I started off with objective clairvoyance when I was a kid. Then I got clairaudience. I could hear spirit. Then I could sense them, clairsentient. Then I could smell the spirit. I could smell smoke and smell stuff, clairgustance. Then my trance guide started working with me. So I started getting into trance. But it wasn't, I was all of a sudden, boom, I was in this. No. This was a journey with the medium. This was a journey. And it's been a lifelong journey. It hasn't all come in a couple of weeks. It's been a journey trying to propel this all within my life. And that's really what these classes are, to set you on the journey. Get you on the journey, on your journey, not mine, not someone else's, but yours, so that you can see the journey through, instead of stopping somewhere on the way and getting discouraged and leaving the journey, for you to stay on the journey. Not because you're going to be this reader, not probably because you're going to do all these readings. What this does is it encourages your spiritual self, its connection to the spirit world, to the lifetimes and incarnations you've had, your Akashic records. All these things are then propelled within your information. So you can kind of judge this life, maybe live this life a little bit better than what you're supposed to, find a different path in your life, figure out a path that works for you better than the path that you're on. Mediumship doesn't just have to be dealing with loved ones and people on the other side. It could be dealing with the GPS that you have in your hand and setting you on the journey that you're supposed to be on. Not because you say, oh my God, Lou, I've got to go off in this way. Why? Your family could be crazy. Your friends could be completely nuts. Where you work, you could be working in some kind of nut house. But doesn't mean you have to stay with all this going on around you. You could venture out the back door and head off through the woods, off to a different path. Doesn't mean you have to stay on that journey. I'm going to let you, I've got you all on Q&A, if *6, if you want to ask me a question. We're getting close to the end of this class, but if you want to ask me a question, hit *6 and it'll bring you up in the Q&A. And you can ask me something. If there's something going on in your mediumship or something that you would like to ask me, ask me. I'll do my best to answer your questions. But I really want you to find your mediumship, find your connection to your mediumship, because I have a question. It says question. Oh. Yes, Lisa.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi. I have a lot of trouble with my guides because I sort of hate them right now. There was some information that I know they all knew and they didn't tell me. And I've spent my entire life trying to figure things out. And so now I just hate my guides. I've asked for new guides. I told them I'm going on strike. I don't know. I'm just having a real problem with it because I just really don't trust them anymore.
But sometimes when we're dealing with guides, I know guides have not told me stuff. I knew they knew what was going on, but they wouldn't tell me. They wouldn't converse the information. And sometimes I learned from understanding the guides is sometimes the information, if they told it to you at the time that you wanted the information, that you needed the information, you wanted it, it was going to change. Now, we could say, well, it would have changed my life. It would have changed something for me, because if I could have got the information from them. But what if it was something of letting you move down the path further without the information, not to affect you, but to affect the whole group consciousness? And we're thinking that the information should be just given to me. And I've argued with my guides about that. But sometimes we have to kind of venture down the road. And then eventually we get the information. We go, well, that's kind of late. But without us getting the information, maybe it affected the group consciousness. Because sometimes we're on this journey, but sometimes we're traveling down a path that has nothing to do with us. We're just on this journey, not to affect us, but to affect the whole. It will affect us sometimes in a negative way, sometimes in a very negative way in our lives, but a lot of the times it's there to affect the group consciousness, the group energy, the group vibration. And we just get discouraged sometimes and go, well, that's it. You should have told me. I've learned that when people get killed and they want me to find the body, and they go, you didn't find the body. Well, I didn't find the body when you wanted me to find the body, but we eventually found the body. But it wasn't when they wanted it, and they wanted it at a certain time. And I said, it's not how the person who passed or something else needed to be happening. We had to wait till that consciousness or that vibration had seen its way until we could actually find the information. And sometimes we want to yell at our guides. Sometimes we really want them to yell at them, but sometimes they're just protecting us, and we're thinking, oh my God, they should have told me stuff. Well, sometimes it is not the question of us wondering where they're going. It's the question of who are we affecting, since we don't. You should possibly ask your guide, say, okay, what was I affecting that you didn't tell me? What was I actually affecting? What was I actually affecting that I didn't know? And have them try to show you. Have them produce situations and things in your life. You go, oh, and then things could appear and you go, oh, that's, okay, I got it. Because it's supposed to affect us. When things happen in my life, 10 years from the time it happened, I look back and go, that's why you didn't tell me. That's why that happened. That's why I didn't get to know. Because it affected the whole. It didn't just affect me. It affected the group energy. So sometimes we want to yell at our guides, but your guides will change as you progress down the path. But sometimes we have to put up with them. They'll step back, but sometimes we just have to put up, because on the spirit side of life, you sat over there and said, I want you, and I want you, and I want you, and I want you. You come with me. Down they come with you. Because while you were on the other side, you needed them. When you got here, you forgot you had them until you actually found them. But you picked the life lessons and the life lessons for the group while you were still on the other side. And then you enter here, and you forget that you have these life lessons with the group energy, the group vibration. And then we have to go through these things in our lives, figuring out, say, well, that was crazy. But sometimes we go through those because we had to kind of connect to that vibration to fix somebody else's life at a distance. And it might have been crazy for us, but it affected them. It affected them in a positive way, which affected the whole, which affected the energy. So I've learned that.
Yes, I think you're right. It probably did affect the whole energy, but I've spent my entire life trying to heal from that. And it really bothers me that I went to therapy for so many years and so many healing classes and so many years of searching, and they didn't tell me. And they just all sat back.
Well,
and they were like,
The question is we have to look at situations. I spent a lot of years in my life from abuse in my life, for people committing suicide in front of me, from people trying to shoot me, all kinds of stuff in my life. And I spent a lot of time in my life working through, wondering why, crazy, why. And I found out that it wasn't really, a lot of the situations that happened in my life weren't meant for me. Maybe the therapy wasn't meant. I giggle with some people. I said, maybe in a past life we needed therapy, we didn't get it, and in this life we just get a double dose of it. Maybe in a past life
that's an idea.
We needed it. In this lifetime we're getting a double dose of it to cure and fix. But ask your guides. So just ask them, say, okay, you didn't show that to me. Could you show me why at this moment? What is all this going on around me now? What am I supposed to be learning from this? And I told people last week, I said, you asked your guide simply, is there something I'm supposed to see that I haven't seen that I should put in motion? Could you please show that to me? Don't ask just ask that. And then see what shows up. I
think I know why I was supposed to see all this now. But I know what I'm supposed to do with all the stuff that I've seen and figured out now. But I just hate them because I had to go through years and years. Everybody lied to me. Everybody in my life, I can't tell you how many people. All of these people lied. And including the guides, because they wouldn't tell me.
But sometimes we get down a path that we're supposed to journey. Sometimes the people on that path are not real. Sometimes I tell people we're born in families, not of families. Sometimes we have a family tree that's a little bit nuts. And then we venture into avenues and situations in our life that take us on journeys in our life that are really not our journey. We're like we're like Dorothy and Toto, just about ready to enter the haunted forest with the flying monkeys. Now, the monkeys are up there, but we're still going down that path. And we want we want people to help us, but they're running off into the bushes, and we're going, well, this is not nice. But there's a journey that we had to make, or a journey that we had to take. So we have to kind of look at it that way. Even though I went through a lot of stuff in my life, we still have to find out why, and that's what your guides are doing. Your guides will do that situation within your life. So I just know that sometimes we can hate our guides, but they're still going to be there. They're still going to be there. You might don't want them there, but they're still going to be propelling things in your life, and you'll go, well, this is crazy. Why'd you tell me? Your guides said, well, you didn't want to talk to us, so here we are. We're just still going to do this now, and they're still going to push you. Now, I tell people they either drag you or they'll guide you. One or the other.
Okay.
The other. Guide or drag.
So the other question is, all of my ancestors, I really hate my ancestors now. I don't want them I don't ever want to talk to them again. I don't ever want to see them again. And a lot of times, like, my mother will try and come, and I'm like, leave, get out of here. And
the question is, people were put in our lives for a reason.
Yes, I know, and I know I'm supposed to go on this journey, but I still hate them.
Well, the question here is you start looking at it as, why were they here? Why did they? It took me a while to learn to let them be. They were here for a reason. Now, I can adjust it and hate the guides and hate the family and hate all these people, but if I allow that just to say, it was their journey, because most people that are in the spirit side of life have no idea. All they did was follow their journey. Now, if it affected you in a negative way, it was their journey that they had to take. So even we forgive them, we don't forget what happened, we forgive, and we move on with our lives to the direction that we need in our lives. Or we could be half crazy our whole life and just say, well, what good is that? Because they're dead. All my family's on the other side. So we're going nope. Do I hate them? Nah. I don't hate my guides. I don't hate my family members. I don't want to get over to the spirit side of life and they greet me at the front door. I think I have other people that I like to greet me, not them. But if they're there, I'm just not going to spend a lot of time over in that corner. So now you have to look and say, okay, who am I supposed to meet? Who am I supposed to talk to? What am I supposed to do? And then kind of see where your guides are trying to lead you. Because if you went through this, doesn't mean you have to, as I said here in the class, doesn't mean you have to keep going down the same path. You can go, wait a second. We're going over here. That's where we're going. Now, you guys suck it up. We're going there. And tell them,
Okay.
be very specific and say, no, we're going over in this direction, and I need you to set up the roadmap and get me there. Let's go.
Okay.
And then figure out the direction they're trying to show you. Okay?
Because, you know, yes, and I have been trying as hard as I can to forgive everybody. I agree with you on that. But, yes, thank you.
At some point, we have to forget. We have to.
Yes, well, I've been working on layers and layers and layers of it, so I've been working on it. But, okay, thank you so much. I do appreciate your point of view, really. Thank you.
So next week we're going to talk about guides again and different things on mediumship, and I'm going to talk about more on some other tools to do with mediumship, and possibly a little bit with trance. I'm going to let Lucerne come in and talk about trance next week, about trance mediumship and mediumship of dealing with master guides entering in and overshadowing you and allowing them to take control. So allowing them to be part of your vibration so you can get true information from them. So I'm going to teach you a little bit about trance next week, let Lucerne speak a little bit, talk about that form of mediumship, which kind of give you an idea of how that works and how that composes the vibration. So you can talk to them. There are different guides than your regular guides. There are trance guides. They work with trance. So I'm glad you guys all tuned in today. This thing will be live on my intuition insights on my Facebook page. So if you didn't see me and see the whole thing, it'll be on there later today or tomorrow. So I'm glad you guys showed up and part of the thing.